to help myself. And within a couple of days, 3 or 4 days on Protandim, I was a new person. I don't miss a day. I mean, I feel like one of your horses or one of your dogs as far as energy, and it really helps me. And I just can't live without it. So I'm actually doing a new book too, and I'm promoting Protandim there. It helps so many people with autoimmune problems. I've had autoimmune problems, and my clients have too, and it's amazing when you couple that with getting enough sunshine, vitamin D on the skin, and doing a few other things. It's just amazing how it really, in my opinion, puts these things in remission. And sure, it has for me with my Hashimoto. So I'm excited about it still, all these years later.
Well, and as Marty talks about being an author, there is a very good book, and you can find it on Amazon.com, called Intuitive Nutrition: 7 Principles for Renewing Health. And it's a great book. It's in my library, and Marty has done a fabulous job with it. So if she's got a new one coming out, I'll be excited to hear about that also.
Right, and go ahead.
Sorry, what's your phone number again, Marty? This is Bonnie again.
It's 612-308-2570.
570.
Yeah, and you can go to my website.
What's your last name? So if we're looking for the book,
you can go to my website. It's Marty, MartiWilling.
WILLING. Okay.
Willing, just like Willing.com, and you can find all about me, and the new book's on there too. Actually, the new book isn't out quite yet, but it'll be out in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, or you can go on Amazon too, and I've actually mentioned Protandim in that book, Intuitive Nutrition, about 23 times throughout the entire book. So yes,
very good.
It's really impacted my life. I tried so many supplements, and trying to increase my glutathione levels, and trying to, at that time I didn't even know much about NRF2, but I guess that's what really I was trying to do, is decrease my oxidative stress, and nothing helped until Protandim, and I can't live without it. I really can't. I think people who really do have serious issues really find that they can really tell the difference once they start taking it.
So you're talking about the Protandim 2, right? The RF2, right? RF2.
Right, not NRF1. I think that's a wonderful product too, but it was the NRF2, the Protandim, the original product that. Yeah, I haven't actually taken the second one. I have taken components of it in the past, but I haven't. I think I should try that, and I'm sure that's wonderful as well.
So how long you've been taking, and how long you notice the differences?
I have been taking Protandim for about, I would 6 or 7. About 7 years, and I noticed people noticed the difference in me before I did. Bob, a good friend of mine, noticed it within 4 or 5 days. He said, "You talk all the time." And before, I was so exhausted. I don't think I had the energy to have much conversation. And people noticed the difference in me, and I really noticed the difference in my energy. Absolutely. And I really think that I'm doing so much better today, 7 years later, 10 times the energy I used to have. I have no more problem with the autoimmune disease called Hashimoto, which is when your immune system attacks your thyroid gland. I do have to avoid gluten, which is one thing that most people who have autoimmune diseases should avoid. And no, I'm doing so much better. And as I look back, I'm sure it's because my oxidative stress is so much lower that I've been taking Protandim all these years. It's amazing. Wow. This product is absolutely amazing. In fact, the new book that is coming out is specifically designed for people with autoimmune problems and helping people know how to eat properly and what to do, that it's not hopeless, that even though many doctors really can't help you when you have an autoimmune disease. They try to put you on steroids and other things. You can actually take control of it yourself, and you can do things, and you can absolutely have your autoimmune disease go into remission. I've seen it. It's happened with me, and people need to have hope. They need not to give up. They need to know what to do. And so, we're pretty excited.
After your background, you are dietitian, nutritionist, something like that, or you are biology?
I have a background in nutrition. Although I don't have a degree in nutrition, but I have a background in nutrition. And I've been doing research for probably 25 years.
Yeah, you can write a book, and I'm sure you have a very deep knowledge where you can write a book to explain all the science. Otherwise, you would not write books. I'm totally.
Well, what happened with me is that I had some issues with endometriosis at a really young age of 35, and the doctors all told me that I needed a hysterectomy, that there was no hope for me. I was in a wheelchair, basically. I changed my diet, and within about 8 months, it disappeared. Of course, I went back to all the doctors, all excited, and they really didn't want to hear about it. And that's what prompted me to write the book. And I realized that the food and nutrition that we take in is our medicine. And we have put so much faith in science and doctors, and not that they're very helpful, and doctors, some of them are my best friends. But in my case, I needed to completely change my diet and focus on supplements that would help me, and medication just wasn't it for me. And so I wrote the book to encourage other women that they can change their hormone balance by changing their diet, men and women. And so that was about 25 years ago. So, it's just expanded from there, and dealing with other things and chronic fatigue, and realizing that some of the medical profession doesn't always have all the answers. There's a time for diet, nutrition, sunlight, adequate sleep, adequate water, eliminating gluten many times of autoimmune disease, and supplements like Protandim, God-given things that can really make a difference and really heal from the inside out, rather than just putting a Band-Aid of medication over the top. So that's sort of how I started with the first book, and yeah.
Great. So I'm going to look, search that, and I'm looking forward to your Pretendence book.
Yes. What's your name again?
Yan, Y-A-N. Yes. I'm from the North Carolina. I'm original from China, so you can see my English. I have an accent.
You speak very well.
Oh, thank you. So my background is nurse. I'm registered. I still have my license, but I'm not practicing anti-stat anymore. So
okay.
Yeah. So it's I just started these 30 days ago. So I
have you? Okay.
Yeah.
I have wonderful people. Go ahead.
Yeah, I hope that I have some good story to tell in the future. But I'm starting these mainly for my husband, but he just refused to take it. So I eventually hope that I can use all the evidence or stories in the convention. But right now, it's not time yet.
I think the animal stories are the most convincing of all, really. The animal stories are just amazing. And I feel like one of them.
Yeah, I have dogs, so maybe someday I will try on him. And so see what happens. Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing is that autoimmune problems, the problems that Protandim really does target, they have risen sharply in the last 5 years, the last 6-7 years. It's amazing. Depression, anxiety, autoimmune problems, infertility, all these things have risen so sharply because of the glyphosate that's put on the soil, that's allowed on American soils. And so a supplement like Protandim is so needed because we can't wash glyphosate off of our vegetables. We have to buy organic. We don't always do that. And so there's a buildup of oxidation of chemicals, this herbicide in our bodies just really does a number on our guts. And our gut is what really determines whether we get disease or not. Once you heal the gut, you heal everything. So oftentimes autoimmune disease starts in the gut. And this is the new book will explain all this. But so we really have to protect ourselves these days because of what's being allowed in our food. And so we do need it. You know, you might not always see, the results that I've seen, but know that you're protecting yourself from this herbicide that, you know, that is causing so many problems. And that autism rates are sharp. I mean, they've gone up to astronomically in the last 7 years, and they really feel it's because of this herbicide. So the great thing is when you do the research on pandas and how it helps with oxidative stress, it's really helping with this glyphosate herbicide that's being put on our foods. And so you really can't go wrong by protecting yourself that way. You really are protecting yourself from diseases that would come in the future, Alzheimer's, cancers. This is my opinion. Autoimmune diseases, diabetes, heart disease, the whole thing. So it's a wonderful product.
There's many things about glyphosate that's coming out. Many recent news articles about its toxicity based and mixed with the other chemicals and even enhanced. It goes on and on and on. It's coming into the market. It's coming into the news cycle as its real dangers. And the good thing is also that Pro-10 and HER2 activates gluconeogeneration enzymes that, like you're saying, Marty, help to reduce and to get some of this out, because people don't realize how toxic and how bad this is.
Say that again, Steve. Go ahead. I want to hear that part again. It activates what? Go ahead.
Well, there's some current research published in The Guardian, I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, about the glyphosate mixed with the other active ingredients where they're adding to the pesticides to make them more effective.
Right.
The combination has a synergistic approach effect that's worse than the glyphosate alone.
Exactly. And you were saying that the NRF2, go ahead.
Well, it activates some of the detoxification enzyme DNA switches, which are helping in the detox process.
Okay, exactly. Right.
What makes it, another aspect of HER2 that makes it so powerful is what it's doing to help you have your own spring cleaning opportunity.
You know, there is no more powerful antioxidant you can take. There is no more powerful antioxidant that you could possibly find than the procanon that activates NRF2. I'm convinced of that. And so it's just so powerful and just exactly what we need here in 2018 to protect us from this incredibly toxic glyphosate. Anyway, I'm so passionate about that, and I get hot under the collar when I think about what's being allowed. And people, many people haven't heard of it, but now it's finally coming to the forefront. I sent out a newsletter about 6 years ago, and I was so upset about this glyphosate, and now they've actually been able to increase it, increase the levels on our crops. And so it's not allowed, I think, in Europe. They're smart enough not to allow it.
They didn't have the same things that occurred there that occurred here, but that's another whole story. One of these days, Marty, we're going to have to have a lunch in Minnesota.
I'd love to.
I now live, my wife and I are about we're down in northeast Iowa and Decorah, Iowa.
Okay.
So
you're not that far?
That's not, it's 2.5.
We could definitely have a phone conversation. I'd love to talk to you more, Steve, when we call back with that other information. I'd love to talk to you about it.
Well, we're getting a little bit late. I better wrap this up for tonight. It's been an interesting evening. I'm sorry that Dr. Marvin couldn't be with us, but of course the extenuating circumstances of the death of his immediate family, of his unexpected death of his daughter. So Dr. Bean is not able to be with us, folks, but I expect that Doc will bounce back and be with us next week with my expectations. So anyway, folks, we want to thank each and every one. I want to thank my co-hosts with us tonight, Kim and Bonnie Heath. They are always the consummate professionals and especially Lillian, Marina, for her sharing tonight of McGill's story, plus all of the other good things that she brought to the table over the years.
Please, what call number is?
The call number is number 311.
311?
Yeah, 311.
Thank you.
And we'll be there shortly. So, well, folks, as we always say, God bless America, and God bless our Canadian friends as well. And we will see you next week. Have a great week. See you later.
God bless
you, Steve, Kelly, Cindy.